Hello, St. Mary's Parish. I'm Father Andrew Dickinson, and I'm your new pastor. As Bishop DeGrood announced back in March 19th, a little over 3 months ago, he's assigning me to be your pastor here at St. Mary's, and I am very happy to be serving you here on this very first day of the new assignments. I want to give you this video just to introduce you to myself a bit if you haven't met me, tell you a bit about Bishop's vision and plan and my hopes for St. Mary's, and then share with you a little spiritual encouragement that God gave to me, a little consolation during these months that have passed from Bishop DeGrood's announcement. So if you haven't met me before, I actually was the parochial vicar, the associate priest at St. Mary's back from 2007 to 2009 under then Pastor Father Joe Holzhauser. Many of you I've met, and many of you have grown and changed. Your families have grown. Maybe your families have left town. But I'm excited to see you again, to work with you again as your pastor, while I continue to be the pastor at Sacred Heart. During this month of July, you won't see me too often. I'm actually recording to you from down at Broomtree Retreat Center, where for my 10th year now, I've been working, helping put on a 30-day silent retreat for seminarians, men studying to be priests. I'll give more videos updating on our St. Mary's Facebook page and other avenues, just telling you a bit about this beautiful retreat and why I do it and why the bishop asks me to help do this retreat. So you won't see me in person, but I am available by email, phone. I'll be supporting our wonderful three parochial vicars, Father Tim Cohn, Father Michael Kapperman, Father Jeff Schulte, who will be taking care of your sacramental needs while I do this retreat work. This is an annual project that I do, at least for the foreseeable future, unless God has something else in store for me. And that's a great gift of my life as a priest. I'm a priest not because it seemed like the right job for me. I'm a priest not because I'd always dreamed of it growing up as a kid. As a kid, I dreamed of growing up to be an engineer or an architect, doing something nerdy. My undergraduate degree is actually in chemistry. But it's through an encounter with God in prayer that the whole idea of priesthood really began to be planted in my mind, began to grow slowly. Not something shooting up like a weed, but it was a slow growth, a consistent growth that called me into life as a priest. And so being able to keep this aspect of spiritual development in my life and helping other young men grow in that way is very nurturing to me. But it's also something I carry with me into my life as your pastor, as a pastor of Sacred Heart and my other assignments, is how do I help you discern where the Lord is working in your life and help you to better cooperate with Him? Because the Lord's not leading, if the Lord's not doing the heavy lifting, we can grunt and groan all we want, but we're probably not going to get it done. So that's a bit about me in that way, and I carry that with me to this project of being your pastor at St. Mary's. Speaking of the idea of a project, of being the pastor at St. Mary's, this is certainly something different. When the first Catholic parish was installed in Aberdeen in 1881, 140 years ago, when St. Mary's Parish was established in 1903, 118 years ago, these two parishes have always been distinct from one another. And they're still distinct, right? Sacred Heart and St. Mary's is still distinct, but what's new is that for the first time ever, Sacred Heart and St. Mary's will be sharing a pastor, right? And so it'll be my responsibility to oversee the Catholic faith and life, both at Sacred Heart and St. Mary's, as well as Sacred Heart in Westport and the St. Thomas Aquinas Newman Center. What does this mean? What does this fit in? Why are we doing this? Well, one reason that we're not, or one thing that's not a reason for why we're doing it, is this has nothing to do with the health of Sacred Heart or St. Mary's. Both parishes are healthy. Both parishes are financially strong. Thanks be to God. I'm so grateful for Father Michael Griffin, your most outgoing pastor, as well as Father Joe Holzhauser, Father Greg Schock before him, of helping St. Mary's be a vibrant place in many ways. I'm very grateful for Sacred Heart's good stewardship as well. So this isn't the reason why we're doing this combination. There's no cost-saving measures involved. Both parishes are remaining functionally as they are. But we're doing two things. Bishop Drude, number one, wants us to cultivate priestly fraternity and priestly life. This way we can have 4 priests living in one rectory together. We're going to live at St. Mary's Rectory, if you didn't know. Sacred Heart's Rectory is going to be rented out to some missionaries doing some work at Northern State and up around the area. But for us to foster community life amongst priests, sometimes it's tough to be a newly ordained priest. Sometimes we have newly ordained priests who struggle. So Bishop Drude wants to be more proactive in that way by fostering an environment in which those priests and those relations can be fostered, built, and strengthened to help them transition to, God willing, eventually being pastors on their own out in one of our other parishes in eastern South Dakota. The second reason why Bishop is doing this is for his larger goal, which you may have hopefully read in the Bishop's Bulletin or heard in videos from him, but that goal of lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. That's my desire, is to help you live out your baptismal call to lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. And that's where my experience as a spiritual director in these 30-day retreats and other retreats is a big asset for me and helping you, is to help you understand how the Lord is calling you in your life, or how to better listen for his call, and then how to answer his call to be at the service of his mission. Each and every one of you here at St. Mary's has a share in Jesus' own mission. He's asking you to go, just as he asks you to come to him, right? Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. We love verses like that from Matthew chapter 11. But he also tells us to go. Matthew chapter 28, go therefore, make disciples of all the nations. Do we have that sort of aspiration? Do we have that sort of appetite here at St. Mary's? So Bishop's desire, my desire in this new arrangement, God willing, God will bless it, would be that through your Catholic lives, right, there'll be more people in Aberdeen who call themselves Catholic. There'll be more Catholics who actively practice the faith, frequent the sacraments. There'll be more Catholics who are doing the corporal and spiritual works of mercy. That's my desire, my hope. And I think that's God's plan for us as well. So this is why we're doing this new thing, and I thank you for your cooperation. I thank you for your patience in advance for the mistakes we'll make in terms of organizing things correctly. We're going to be learning things as we go. We've been thinking, talking, consulting, preparing, but I'm sure there's going to be things that we haven't anticipated. But I want to end then with just a word of encouragement. When Bishop allowed us to make this announcement, Father Griffin and I both, we got to release the announcement on March 19th. It was a Friday. Now, March 19th is the feast of St. Joseph, okay, the solemn annual feast of St. Joseph. Now, it's also the feast of St. Joseph in what Pope Francis has decreed to be a year of St. Joseph, right? So for all the church, for all of us to cultivate our devotion to St. Joseph in this special year in his honor. Well, who did St. Joseph take care of? Well, I can hear you through the screen shouting back at me, right? St. Joseph took care of the Blessed Virgin Mary and the child Jesus. Okay, what 2 parishes do we have here in Aberdeen? St. Mary's Parish and the Sacred Heart of Jesus. So just as St. Joseph took care of the Blessed Virgin Mary and the child Jesus on earth, so now St. Joseph is praying for us. St. Mary's Parish, Sacred Heart of Jesus Parish, Sacred Heart of Jesus in Westport, he's caring for us in this transition. What a wonderful thing it is. Maybe you don't have a devotion to St. Joseph. I encourage you to learn a prayer of St. Joseph. They have books on what we call a consecration to St. Joseph, the litany of St. Joseph. Take up some of these things in this coming year, and let's consecrate all of us, dedicate all of us to the intercession of St. Joseph. Well, I'm Father Andrew Dickinson, your pastor at St. Mary's. Won't be seeing you much in person, but be communicating a lot with you in the bulletins and other avenues in these coming weeks until I get to be with you in person in August. Know of my prayers for you, my love for you. God bless you.